Hey everyone, I'm back, and today we're going to be talking about Monty Python's Life of Brian. And this movie is directed by Terry Jones, and it came out in 1979. And I've seen this movie once before, and I thought it was alright. I just didn't get much out of it, and upon rewatching it, I felt as though I got more out of it, and I feel as though part of the reason why I wasn't that into it the first time watching it is because it was on TV and was censored, and I couldn't experience the film as much as I would have liked. And this time I watched it on Netflix, and it was uncensored, and I got the full experience that I feel as though I was supposed to get, and I enjoyed it a lot more. I do have my issues with it, but I do feel as though it's a solid movie at least, and the comedy in this movie is very funny, and although not all of it lands for me, there are some parts that I wish were done better, and I was kind of hoping that the humor and the story were better thought out, but it was really just like, hey, this is a random cool idea that could just happen, and it's funny that it's in there because it's just so random and goofy, but I didn't find it funny. And there were a couple moments like that in the movie, and the ending, I felt as though once we kind of got to it, like the last 10 minutes, like before we got to a certain part in the movie, it was getting a little bit dull for me and a little stretched out, and there were some jokes that I felt as though were a little too repetitive, and I just felt as though some of it went too far. I liked the joke about certain characters mispronouncing words, like that was hilarious and pretty iconic. And there's lots of really great memorable scenes in the movie, but comparing it to Monty Python and the Holy Grail, it's not as memorable to me or impactful, because with that movie, it's like the comedy and story are just so tied so tightly together, and it's really working for me throughout the film, where it's this one, there's a story kind of, but it's not really all that important to any of the characters, and I just didn't feel much for anyone or anything. And I'm not trying to say that I didn't enjoy the satire. I thought it was pretty funny. It's just that I wished it was done a bit better, and apparently this movie was like banned in certain countries when it came out, which I find to be interesting. I didn't do a whole lot of research on that, but I know that as a fact that it was banned in certain countries, and it was just very controversial at the time, and I can understand why, but personally I don't care very much at all. It's like, if you want to make fun of something or anything, really, you want to do something, then just go ahead and do it. I don't care. As long as there's a point to it, and you're not just doing it for the sake of doing it, which this movie does do at a couple points, don't get me wrong, but overall I do feel as though altogether it's good. And pretty much every scene in this movie is just commenting on, like, it's just making fun of thoughts that a certain character would have, and it was always something new, and each scene moves everything forward, and it's always very funny for the most part. And although some of the comedy is repetitive for me, and it doesn't really feel as though it's progressing all too much at a couple points, there were some times where I did find it funny when it came into play later into the film. And if you're looking for a comedy, then this is a great one to pick. I laughed quite a bit, and I would definitely watch this movie again, but it's not one that I would rush back to seeing. And that's about all I have to say about Monty Python's Life of Brian. It was a good movie. I liked it. I liked the bits of animation in the opening credits. I thought they were fun, although it wasn't as creative as Holy Grail for me. And overall, I just feel as though it's a lesser version of Monty Python and the Holy Grail, but on its own, it's a good movie, and you should definitely check it out if you like Holy Grail like I do, and it is definitely worth watching. So check this movie out once you get the chance, and with all that being said, I'm going to give Monty Python's Life of Brian a 7 out of 10. Thank you for watching my videos as always. If you enjoyed this review, be sure to leave a like and comment down below what you thought of Monty Python's Life of Brian, and my social media links, they will all be in the description, so follow me there. And last but not least, subscribe to be a part of Foley Nation, and I'll see you when I get my next review up, and that is going to be for Dope. So look forward to that, but until I get that up, thank you for watching and have a great day.